All right, what's up, everybody? We're back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to be talking about last night's game one of the NBA Finals. Mavericks, Celtics. Celtics come out and dominate the Mavericks, and talk about all of last night's game here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, turn notifications, all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. Join the membership. If you want to learn more about the membership, there's a video on my channel explaining all of it. You can go back and watch that. Link to my Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that. Description down below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So last night we had the Celtics Mavs game one of the finals. Celtics come out and dominate the Mavs. They end up winning 107-89, 18-point win. They go up 1-0. Early in this game, first quarter, it was very tight to start the game. Back and forth. The Celtics hit a couple threes. Derek White hit a couple threes. Al Horford hit a three to start this game. Holiday hit a three, and it was like, oh shoot, here we go. Now the Celtics are here. For Dallas, Luka hit a couple shots. Derrick Jones Jr. hit a three to start the game, and it was like, okay. It was Kristaps Porzingis. Most of the night, Kristaps Porzingis was the X factor in this game. He came out in the first quarter after his first time playing. I think they said 38 days or something. Came out and dominated. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks, 4 for 5 from the field, plus 16 in the first quarter. He was absolutely dominant. Tatum in this game as well. Only hit 1 3, but he had 3 assists, 4 rebounds. I like the plays he was making. And that really was the difference maker. It was Kristaps Porzingis. Dallas led 37-20 at the end of the first quarter. They dominated the glass 16-6, including 4 offensive rebounds. Dominated the assist 9-3. Shot 56% from the field, 46% from 3, while Dallas shot 37% from the field, 25% from 3, and didn't take a free throw. That was a big difference in the first half, or the first quarter. Go to the second quarter, it's more of the same. Porzingis, again, 7 more points in this quarter. Jaylen Brown started to get it going. He had 9 points on 4 for 4 from the field in this quarter. He was dominant. Tatum hit a couple shots. And Dallas, it was tough. Besides Luka, who had 10 points, everybody else couldn't really shoot. And they shot 53% from the field as a team in this quarter. 1 for 5 from 3. 3 for 6 in the free throw line. So they missed free throws. They did win the rebounding battle, but they only forced 1 turnover in this quarter as well. After forcing 5 in the first quarter. Couldn't force turnovers. Kyrie in the first half had 6 points and was 3 for 9 from the field. PJ Washer was 0 for 2 from 3. They were 1 for 5 from 3 as a team. And then they just didn't really have an answer for Kristaps Porzingis. Kristaps Porzingis was just out there. He looked amazing. Not on just offense. He, of course, getting the ball in the mid-range, a little post area, shooting over guys like Josh Green, even Luka Doncic and them. Defensively, he was there, impacting plays. Even if he didn't get blocks, his presence at the rim was just forcing away guys like Luka and Kyrie. So Porzingis was dominant. Boston led by 21 at halftime. Porzingis had 18 and 3 on 7 for 9 shooting in the first half. Jaylen Brown 13 points and 3 steals. Tatum, Derek White had 8. Sam Hauser had a couple threes. Boston shot 40% from 3 in the first half, 11 for 27. Won the rebounding battle 24-16. The assist battle 15-5 as well, while shooting 54% from the field. For Dallas, 18 for 41. They were 3 for 13 from 3. Luka had 17 of the 42 Maverick points. After that, look at everybody else. And it was just Kyrie 3 for 9, PJ Washington 2 for 5, Derrick Jones 2 for 4, Gafford 2 for 2, Josh Green 0 for 2, Jane Hardy 1 for 4. Derek Lively didn't even take a shot in the first half. It was tough. Then we get to the third quarter, and this was the big swing in the game where Boston could have lost this game, but also where Boston won this game. Dallas got to an 8-point game at one point in the third. Luka hit a couple shots. Kyrie hit a shot or two. PJ Washington was being aggressive. Boston was missing. I think they won like a 24-9 run at one point in this quarter, or throughout the end of the second half to the mid third quarter. And I was like, here we go. Dallas gonna get some momentum. Luka's gonna hit some shots. If Kyrie starts hitting shots, then it's gonna be a long day for the Boston Celtics. But then I think Jaylen Brown was a huge factor in keeping this game at the length they did. Jaylen Brown had 6 points in the quarter. Got to the free throw line. Derek White hit a 3-pointer in this quarter. Al Horford hit a 3-pointer. Tatum hit a 3-pointer. Porzingis hit a shot. And then Dallas's offense started to kind of fall a little bit. Dallas won the quarter by 1 point, but it didn't really matter because going into the fourth quarter, they were down 20 still. Luka had 10 and 6 in the quarter. Kyrie was 3 for 10. PJ Washington 1 for 2. Derrick Jones 0 for 3. Dallas shot 36% from the field, 2 for 8 from 3. While Boston shot 33% from three, but they hit four. But the big difference is free throws, 7 for 8 from the free throw line in the quarter. And out of the 7 players that played, 6 of them scored for Boston. For Dallas, out of the 9 players that played in this quarter, only 4 of them scored. So yeah, Boston started to lock back in defensively, and Jaylen Brown bringing a lot of energy and aggression. And at that point, it was over. Boston wins this game 107-89. Boston ends up shooting 38% from three, 16 for 42, 47% from the field, took 19 free throws, 13 for 19 from the free throw line. They won the rebounding battle 47-43. Only gave up 9 assists while they had 23, which is a big factor. Jaylen Brown, I feel like Jaylen Brown was amazing in this game. Jaylen Brown had an argument to be he was the best Celtic player on the court. It might have been Porzingis, but Jaylen Brown was amazing in this game as well. 22, 6 and 2, 3 steals, 3 blocks, 7 for 12 from the field, 6 for 11 from the free throw line, 2 for 6 from 3. He was a dog in this game. He really was. He was being aggressive, getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line. Defensively, he was locked in as well. He got 2 half court pickpocket steals on Luka that turned into dunks. He had a couple blocks in this game as well. He had 1 block on Kyrie. Jaylen Brown was a dog in this entire game. But Kristaps Porzingis was the X factor. 20 points, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks in 20 minutes. 8 for 13, 2 for 4 from 3. He was a plus 13 in this game. He was absolutely amazing. And in my preview video, which you can go back and watch, I did that yesterday. In my preview video, I said the X factor for the Boston Celtics is Kristaps Porzingis. Because as Kristaps Porzingis can come out and hit shots and be the Porzingis that we've seen, Dallas won't have an answer for him. And we saw in this game, Dallas doesn't have any. I don't think Dallas has an answer for Kristaps Porzingis. He was lining him up from the mid range and the mid post area, just getting mismatches, and no one could match up with him. He had the foot speed to get by Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively on some possessions. The 3 ball obviously was there. Defensively, he was blocking shots. He was deterring people from the rim. He was a game breaker. He was the game breaker. And that's what he's been all year. I keep saying it every time we mention the Celtics and mention Porzingis. The Celtics team is already really, really good in his own. But Kristaps Porzingis makes this team the best team in the league by far. Kristaps Porzingis is the game breaker. When Kristaps Porzingis is hitting threes, blocking shot, doing all that, you're not going to win. You just can't beat this team. And so, no matter game 2, obviously, you expect in game 2 the Boston or Dallas to hit more shots. You don't expect Kyrie to shoot 6 for 19, 31% from the field the entirety of the series. You expect Dallas to kind of get a rhythm at some point. You expect Luka to have a better game. You expect maybe the centers. You expect Dallas to shoot better from the field and do all that. Maybe you expect, the Boston shooters to cool down a little bit. But I think the one thing that you can maybe even guarantee dang near throughout the entirety of the series is that Dallas is not going to have an answer for Kristaps Porzingis. The only way Kristaps Porzingis gets stopped is on his own. If he's on his own, just stops. But I don't think Dallas. If Kristaps Porzingis is playing like this for the entirety of the series, I don't think Dallas can win. I personally think if Kristaps Porzingis is playing like this the entirety of the series, Dallas can't win because Dallas doesn't have an answer for Kristaps Porzingis. And once they put so much attention on Kristaps, you still have the Jays, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. You still have Derek White, Jrue Holiday. It's going to be really hard to win if Kristaps Porzingis is doing the things he's doing. And then Derek White, 15 points, 8 threes. Tatum, 16, 11, and 5. Jrue Holiday had a couple of threes. Al Horford had 10, 7, and 3. Just a really good all-around game from Boston and dominance. And for the first half, at least, they looked really engaged on the defensive end. They looked really engaged all around. They looked like they came out and tried to make a statement, which is the first time we've seen that for Boston in a very long time in this playoffs, where they came out for the entire first half. They came out and just were 100% locked in on offense and on defense. We've seen a lot of times where they've had moments where they just don't really look there, especially defensively, and they've allowed teams like the Cavs out Donovan Mitchell, the Pacers out Tyrese Halliburton to be in the game and have it be a close game for longer than it really should have been. But this game, they finally kind of realized, all right, we're in the finals. We're playing against an actual team and Luka and Kyrie. We got to come out and we got to make a statement, set the tone. And boy, did they do that in the first half. They set the tone early. They did let up a little bit in the third and allowed Dallas to come back, which if you're going to allow that, you're playing a dangerous game with Luka and Kyrie. But they ended up closing out at the end, getting it back together, and they closed it out. And for Dallas, Luka, 30 and 10, 12 for 26, 4 for 12 from three. Um, Definitely would have loved to see him shoot a lot more in the paint. Definitely had a lot of paint shots that he kind of passed up for threes, which I understand. But would have liked to see him be a little more aggressive when it comes to the paint, you know. But yeah, after that, just didn't really get much up. Kyrie, 12 points, 6 for 19, 0 for 5 from three. Bad Kyrie game. If Kyrie hits a couple more of those shots, he had a couple shots in the third quarter when Dallas was making their run that were wide open threes that he missed. I was like, dang, if Kyrie just was average Kyrie tonight, Dallas probably had a way better chance. But with Kyrie Irving, you expect Kyrie to probably get better throughout the season goes, or throughout the series goes. They said he's lost his last 11 games against the Boston Celtics, and that looked like Boston's defense game plan. At least to me, it looked like what I expected a little bit. They're taking away Kyrie and take away the big man. Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively did not really have an impact. Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford combined for 10 points, and they combined for 10 points, 8 rebounds, no blocks. Like, they were a non-factor. Daniel Gafford only played 14 minutes. Derek Lively only played 18 minutes. They have some lineups where they went small and put Maxi Kleber in there. Maxi Kleber in 18 minutes had one shot, didn't have a rebound. So like Boston really is we're taking away Kyrie, and we're gonna take away the big men because they know those two got Kyrie, Daniel Gafford, and Derek Lively have been the huge reason as to why the Mavericks are here right now. When you get Kyrie going and you let Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively be the lob threats that they are and block shots and start to dominate in the paint, it's gonna be really tough to win. So Boston's game plan, it looked like it was like, you know what, Luka, you can do your thing. He's 30, 10, took 26 shots. Go ahead. They also were hunting him on the defensive end. They also were not letting Luka chill in the corner on defense. Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum were trying to attack him. But they're like, you know what? We're not going to let Kyrie do your thing, and we're going to limit the big man. After that, Luka, you can do your thing. PJ Washington, they were living with PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. I'm sorry, PJ Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. shooting. Those guys combined to take 20 shots, and they scored 19 points. They shot 7 for 20, 1 for 5 from 3. So they were letting PJ Washington, Derrick Jones, go ahead. Do what you got to do. If you want to put the ball on the floor, get to the rim, shoot three, go ahead. Do what you got to do. But as long as Kyrie Irving, Daniel Gafford, and Derek Lively aren't making impacts, we feel confident that we can win. And it worked in game one. Luka had his night. He scored 30 and 10. He had his thing. Only one assist, though. Only one assist. Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively combined 10 points, 8 rebounds. Kyrie Irving 6 for 19. We did our job. We did our job on the defensive end. If you're Boston, you did your job. And now for game two, you expect Kyrie Irving, as great as a player as he is, you expect him to be better. And I think he knows that he has to come out and be a lot more aggressive and be better. It's of course tough when you have Jrue Holiday on you, but it's Kyrie Irving. I expect him to be better. And I'm really interested to see how Dallas gets the big men involved. Because Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively have been great, all playoff round long. Now you have Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis. Well, Al Horford's a really good defender. Porzingis being 7'3", also being guys that space the floor. And allow the paint to be wide open for the Boston Celtics because Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively now have to guard at the perimeter, which those are things they have not had to do so far in this playoff run. They haven't had to guard anybody on the perimeter. And now for Boston, you don't really get a break because even if Porzingis isn't there, it's Al Horford. Even if you want to switch off, who are you going to switch them off to? Derek White? Jrue Holiday? Those guys are 40% three-point shooters too. So it's like you can't really help off of anybody in the series, which is going to be a big advantage to the Boston Celtics. I'm confident that the Mavericks are going to find a way to make an adjustment at some point. I don't know what the adjustment really is. I think really it's just, getting off to a better start. I feel like is a big thing, getting off to a better start. I also seen that they were kind of guarding Jason Tatum in a similar way they did with Anthony Edwards and stuff. And to be honest with you, I would do the opposite. If I'm Dallas on the Boston, I'm going to let Jason Tatum do his thing. As crazy as it sounds, Jason Tatum is a top 10 play. Like, Jason Tatum is elite, obviously. But honestly, I'm just thinking. I'm just spewing thoughts here that I was thinking in last night's game and thinking about after the game. Like, would it be crazy for Dallas if they play a similar game to what Boston's doing to them? Where they're like, you know what, Luka, we can't stop you. Luka, you could do your thing, score as many points as you want, but Kyrie's not doing anything. The big men aren't doing anything. And you're gonna have to rely on PJ Washington and Derrick Jones to make plays. If you're Dallas, maybe try a similar thing where it's like, Jason Tatum, you're elite. Do your thing. JT, you got it. But we're not letting Jaylen Brown get off. We're not letting Derek White and Jrue get their open threes, which is a lot harder to do. And when you add Kristaps Porzingis in the mix, obviously that changes so many things because Dallas doesn't have an answer for Kristaps Porzingis. So it's a lot harder to do if you're Dallas than what Boston can do because Boston has such. Yeah, I mean, when you have Derek White and Drew Holiday and Al Horford and Porzingis at the paint and Jalen Brown, like that's just crazy. But if you're Dallas, I don't know. I would think about it. If it's Jason, I would think about it. Maybe letting Jason Tatum score 30, let Jason Tatum take 25, 30 shots. But if that's shots being taken away from Jaylen Brown, that's shots being taken away from Derek White and Drew Holiday, that can kill you from three. You know what I mean? Maybe. Just a thought. You know, I'm not a coach, so I don't know. But I'm just thinking out loud right now what Dallas can do. But yeah, very interested to see how Dallas bounces back and responds. Obviously, Luke, they've been a battle tested team this entire run, this entire playoff run, and they've had their big moments and stuff. And I'm confident they are gonna find a way to adjust and find a way to be a lot better in game two. At least you would assume they come out in game two and be a lot better. But it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens. Yeah, it's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, and all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.